top grandmasters. Wow, we're sport for choice, and we jump in. It's Bortnyk against one of the hot shots so far in game week 7, Duda. And it's a transposition to the French defense. Wow, this is going to be fun. 2 players with very aggressive styles.
And Duda, who's been playing very quickly today, taking into account that he only spent 5 minutes in total on his first 3 games, which all ended in victories for him. And we can tell that he kind of still has this fast pace. But Bortnyk as well. Like, these are 2 very speedy players. So this is a totally different ball game than what we were just watching.
Exactly. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fast and furious. Bortnyk does tend to get in a bit of time trouble these days, but he's a master at handling it. This position, it was a French defense. It was the winnower variation. And now white pushing the h-pawn forward is a very trendy computer suggestion. And black aims to chip away at the head of the white pawn chain. I'm very surprised. Normally you don't want to be sacrificing a pawn in the center. What does he have up his sleeve here, Bortnyk? Is that just a pure pawn that he's given away? That's attacked twice, knight and queen. Only defended once.
Ooh.
You can take it, Duda. Ooh, but still slightly better for white. This is a weird position. Like the least blocked French defense ever.
Yeah, I feel like this often happens as well. I feel like when I have this situation against the French defense and I lose the pawns in the middle, I think, oh no, something's gone terribly wrong. But here, apparently, Bortnyk is still doing very well, and he's able to pin that knight. So now he's added to the pressure in the middle. But there's a check on the king. There's going to be a pawn extra for Duda.
Yeah, so now if Duda gets 1 or 2 more moves, if he gets to bring his knight out somewhere and get castled, he's just winning, or he's just got a huge advantage. So Bortnyk now has a small window of opportunity before the black king runs away to safety to strike, to do something, maybe to win the pawn back. If the white queen can move out the way, maybe the bishop comes around for this pawn later. Maybe we'll see some checks thrown in at some point. But this is very high responsibility, this type of position for Bortnyk. He needs to find something here and now.
And he's spending a lot of time looking for it.
Duda's shaking his head. He just wants to win every game in the space of 1 or 2 minutes. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch. If Bortnyk can put some pressure on and Duda rushes the reply, maybe this will turn in white's favor. But for now, I'm hesitant to believe the bar that it's better for white.
Yeah, because how is Bortnyk going to put any pressure? I was looking at, could he advance his pawn on the side? But then you don't want to trade queens, obviously. So how is he going to make any... How is he going to prevent that king from castling?
Yeah. I'm struggling to come up with a plan as well. He's down 1 minute already and counting, Bortnyk. He really, really needs to speed up. I would probably want to get my queen out of the way, as you said there, more like queen exchange is the last thing you want a pawn down in this position, especially because white's pawn structure is already a bit damaged. Even if you win a pawn back, queen trade probably not beneficial. So probably I would start looking at these 2 moves, but it's hard to compare, hard to know which one's better. Bortnyk, just too slow.
Yeah, has he spent like 1.5 minutes on this move? And I mean, Duda looks almost bored and he's like, let me grab some water, let me do something else. He's looking away. Could there have been a disconnection or something?
Yeah.
Or is he really spending this much time thinking about a move?
I think it's a critical position, so he's definitely thinking, but this is just too much time. In blitz, you can rarely afford a 2-minute think. He's closing in on 2 minutes now. Clocks went almost level just a few moves ago. There we go. He castles. Finally a decision.
Wow. I didn't even think of that as an option.
It does look pretty open, like the pawns on this side. Lots of air around the white king, but he wanted his rook closer towards the center. I quite like the move, maybe c4 at some point, but okay, last moment now, he needs to do something. Much better for white, apparently, but black is just 1 move away from castling to safety. Pawn up still for Duda. What is the best way forward? h6, good idea. Weakening some dark squares. What next?
And Duda keeps playing very quickly, so he's really putting the pressure on the clock now and just accepting that his king's safety is not his priority in this game. But yeah, it's a really big time advantage now, and maybe he can use that if he survives, if Bortnyk can't manage to checkmate that king in time.
Yeah, I think Duda's a big favorite here. Like, for Bortnyk to checkmate, he needs a lot to happen in his favor. He pushes the pawn to c4. First of all, black can castle now. I think the intended response is for the bishop to come in, attack a black rook, and then maybe sneak back and win a pawn. But so many options here for Duda. He can block the center. He can trade off first. He can move his knight into the center. If I can draw my arrows, right, there we go. He can jump into the center. Lots and lots of choice for Duda. Finally, he thinks.
Yeah, he's finally realizing some of the danger in the position. And his center is under attack. And it's not so easy to maintain the position right now for Duda. He has to make some decision. And he decides to develop his bishop. Maybe he's opening for the possibility to escape to the other side of the board with his king, just as Bortnyk did. But that cost him some time.
Yeah, it cost him some time, but it's also won him some thinking time on Bortnyk's clock now. That is the type of move that Magnus loves, like super flexible. You keep options of castling open. You keep your opponent guessing. So Duda, very good practical player. And this last move, I think, a mistake from Bortnyk. The bishop is attacked now by queen and knight. If the bishop moves out the way, queen trade.
Ooh.
Duda's going to survive and go into the endgame. A pawn up and 2 minutes up.
Wow. He managed to survive that situation. And yeah, now it looks really promising for Duda. I'm surprised that the evaluation bar isn't even more in his favor.
Yeah, I think we're going to see it swing in Black's favor very, very shortly. Maybe some counterplay with the bishops, but there we go already now saying advantage Black, the computer. The knight is hit. The knight can move, however. You've got multiple safe squares. Wherever he goes, Duda should be winning this game now, especially because of the clock situation. And the black bishop has a beautiful outpost to sit on in the next few moves once the knight has found its way to safety. It goes round. Bortnyk's going to be kicking himself. I can just imagine him saying on his stream,
Yeah.
too slow, too slow.
Oh. And what was a very promising opening for him, where he was sacrificing a pawn. It was probably something he was enjoying, and then he just couldn't find the critical moves that were going to punish Duda's greediness of grabbing that extra pawn in the opening. And Duda, he seems to be very chill today, and he's playing very quickly. He seems to have a lot of confidence. He's doing so well on the standings as well for split 2. He was in second place before today, and as you said, he had a podium finish the previous 2 weeks. So he's taking Titled Tuesday very seriously, and he's doing very well.
Yeah, he will want to be at the Esports World Cup later this year. He sidestepped some of the biggest classical tournaments of 2025, wanting to kind of recover, take some time for himself, prioritize his focus, his freshness. But now it does look like Duda's refreshed, and there's a pawn up for grabs if he wants it. He's calculating if that's possible. Will the white rooks, maybe this one, swing over? He doesn't want any of that funny business. He's just making moves. 27 seconds. Bortnyk's just no chance he completes this game, barring a huge blunder now from Duda.
But I've also seen Bortnyk with like seconds left on the clock. He's very tricky and sneaky. And he's made, there have been miracles for Bortnyk before when he has very little time, because then he kind of just starts going into a different mode. Instead of looking for the best moves, he's just trying to trick his opponent. So I can tell that Duda is actually taking this game quite seriously still, spending some time, leaning forward. He still hasn't cashed in the victory just yet.
Yeah, not yet. And maybe that's Bortnyk's best chance, that Duda gets a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Even if the time never kind of catches up, maybe a blunder, and Bortnyk will be right back in it. We see some piece exchanges. Blitz, bullet mode now for Bortnyk as he puts his bishop on a well-defended square. Still a pawn up for black. The knight isn't really doing much at the moment, though. That's the one thing. The knight doesn't find any good squares. And okay, now he's aiming to play on that queen side. Maybe it's found a good square on the edge of the board. Counterintuitive, and now the pawns are rolling. He's walked into an X-ray here. Something's dropping. Bishop takes pawn. Discovered check. The bishop's falling. Piece up now for Duda. 55 seconds is enough. Nice check to keep everything protected. The king's actually trapped. Will we see a checkmate in the next few moves?
And Magnus as well has gotten his 4th point, has a perfect 4 out of 4 score. Will Duda be able to join him? It looks very promising for that right now. He has an extra piece, has extra pawns, has 30 more seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
In Duda's longest game of the day so far.
Yeah, this game alone is going to be almost double the length of all of the rest of his games combined. But he's closed the mating net. This is actually going to be a beautiful pawn checkmate next move.